Hello everyone. It's indeed a pleasure to be talking to you on this virtual summit organized by ET Government. Last 3 months have been tough for each one of us in one way or other. Each of us had our own set of experiences. One thing we all will agree that we are passing through time never experienced before. In fact, never even imagined that with so much of a development, ways and means, we'll go through such unprecedented times. And if there's one thing which has helped address some of these challenges is the technology. Technology has been at the center of our discourse in professional, public, as well as personal lives. Adoption of technology has accelerated across all segments of society during this time, be it government, industry, civil society, as well as citizens. Right from agriculture, education, health, essential services, economic activities, to functioning of private enterprises, be it interaction, collaboration, work from home, technology has been the key enabler. As technology partner of the government, our objective at NIC has always been to provision technology-driven solutions for central and state government in various aspects of development. Right from state-of-art ICT infrastructure to digital platforms, as well as on-ground services, connecting citizens with the government, we have set up a holistic digital landscape that caters to varied needs of the citizens as well as government and its organizations. With robust and scalable cloud infrastructure, most of our services and platforms could function seamlessly during the COVID-19 period. In fact, as we all move towards a virtual setup for our day-to-day activities, many of our services experienced an exponential rise in the number of users as well as usage. However, with the strong IT setup in place, we could scale the infrastructure quickly and adapt ourselves to this new normal. Our services and solutions are being extensively used by departments in central and state government across various sectors, for internal administration to management of programs and schemes, delivery of citizen services, to citizen engagement with platforms like MyGov. Our district centers have been operating 24/7 during this COVID time, supporting district collectors in all their endeavors to manage this pandemic. In fact, they are our corona warriors. During the times of lockdown and social distancing, services such as video conferencing have significantly contributed to the functioning over 1,000 video conferencing sessions per day. So much so has been the relevance of video conferencing services that even the judicial institutions are making use of our video conferencing services to continue hearings and pronounce judgments. Honorable Supreme Court of India is running multiple courts every day through video conferencing and has directed other courts to make use of video conferencing for court matters. Launch of virtual courts has been another important landmark in the use of technology for justice delivery. As the lockdown was announced, one of the focus areas for the government and its institution was to ensure financial assistance to those who were in distress. Under Digital India program, IT systems were developed for a number of government schemes. Leveraging these platforms, financial transfer to beneficiaries of various schemes could be made in a very short span of time. With the help of direct benefit transfer platform, easy transfer of benefits directly to the bank or post office accounts of the citizens was facilitated. Using DBT platform of NIC, over 60,000 crores were transferred to beneficiaries pan-India under various schemes of central and state governments. For remote working of the government officials, another important solution from NIC, e-Office, has proven to be a boon during this lockdown situation. E-Office is helping the government officers to work from home in a safe and secure manner. There has been over 10 lakh transactions on files during the lockdown period in central government alone. Not only we continue to maintain our existing systems, a number of new applications and mobile apps were also developed to help government monitor and manage the pandemic. Mobile app to capture details of COVID test samples is being used by labs and collection centers pan-India. IT applications were also developed to support information dissemination to quarantine management, hospitals management, as well as surveillance management. Specifically for lockdown, NIC has developed an e-pass system to facilitate movement of people for essential services as well as movement of vehicles for essential commodities. More than 20 states in India are currently using this e-pass system of NIC to ensure continuity of services. Food grain distribution was another activity supported by our PDS platform during lockdown period. Another important app which you all are very aware of is Arogya Setu was launched to provide technology solution to data-driven contact tracing and alert citizens with an overall objective to curb the spread of coronavirus and help people keep themselves safe. Over a short span of time, this app has around 130 million downloads and is available in 12 different languages. It is one of its kind in government domain. While we continue our fight against coronavirus, we are also exploiting and exploring innovative solutions to transform how government offices function. Safety and security of every citizen is paramount to us, and that's what motivates us to develop new solutions. Making more and more government services paperless, contactless, cashless is one of our focus areas in the months to come. Work from home shall be the new normal. We shall see a lots of tools and technologies to support work from home environment in various sectors. We are aggressively working to develop work from home solutions for the government. Use of chatbots and voice bots in Indian languages to support citizen interaction with government is another domain we see a lot of requirement, particularly when the time of containments, lockdowns, and social distance. Data analytics and artificial intelligence has been extensively used during monitoring and management of pandemic, contact tracing, prediction of situation in coming weeks in various parts of the country, assessment of resource availability at testing labs, hospitals, ventilators, oxygen and other things, masks and PPPs, quarantine centers. Encouraged by potential of these technologies, we are now going to witness use of advanced analytics in different aspects of governance. We are also closely working with Ministry of MSME to extend all possible support in terms of technology. Technology to facilitate and enable our MSME sector will be another domain which needs a lot of innovation to make India Atmanirbhar. Before I close, I like to thank ET government for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with you. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Hello and welcome to ET Government National Governance Virtual Summit. In this special fireside chat, we are joined by Director General of National Informatics Center, NIC, Dr. Neeta Verma, and very senior leader from Dell Technologies India, Mr. Kamal Arora. Without taking too much time, I'll go to the ma'am first. And ma'am, you know, NIC is a torch bearer of e-governance in the country. Can you share with us some of the recent work done by your organization? Maybe a couple of key initiatives that your organization took you can highlight, ma'am.
NIC, through its various centers, is helping governments at central government as well as state even the district administration to manage and monitor the situation of pandemic, as well as assess things like lockdown and movement of vehicles as well as individuals during this lockdown period. Some of the applications which have been developed across various states are basically to help quarantine management, tracking of people under quarantine, hospital management, and one of our apps which has become very, very popular is this RT-PCR app. This is the app which is developed for ICMR and is being used by all collection centers across India to collect information while they are collecting the samples for this. As of yesterday, around 1,27,000 samples were collected using this app. So it has become very important in terms of quick capturing of the information, also its quick transmission to the labs and correct information at the same time. This was developed particularly for this. Another important aspect which you all know is Arogya Setu, which is a technology-enabled, data-driven contact tracing help app to primarily help the contact tracing part and also alert citizens if they have come in contact with some COVID positive person, so that they can take care of themselves in terms of isolation or quarantine, depending on, there's a complete AI-enabled algorithm depending on what is the duration and what is the distance you had, because it works on Bluetooth. It basically advises the person that what is the level of risk that person has of catching the infection and accordingly guides on what kind of measures the person should take, whether self-isolation, all quarantine, or go for the test.
Right. Ma'am, I'll come to you again. I'll go to Mr. Arora. How organizations like yours are working on the beneath IT infrastructure for such a platform?
Thank you very much for inviting me for the discussions here. So all the critical application which Dr. Verma just talked about require a lot of automation and IT infrastructure beneath it. And the important thing is that it should scale up to the requirement when so many people are accessing it across country in such short duration. So what happened is that, suddenly the loads are increased on the infra to provide that inputs or connectivity and all of that. So many of the initiatives which NIC today is running are, and other government application, I would say, NIC is a torchbearer in IT space here in the country. Many of them are running on Dell infrastructure, and we provide the world-class edge to core to cloud solutions to run these kind of applications, run the specific workload which ma'am just talked about. So those are the things which we are doing.
Right. You notice that in the current situation, many organizations across public sector are activating their business continuity plans to quickly enable their staff to work from home by leveraging cloud agility and scale. How is NIC helping government department to respond effectively and elevate service disruption?
When on 23rd of March, when the lockdown was just announced, and remember this was end of financial year, our first and very first challenge was that how do we enable all these government servants across the whole of government to work from home so that they can properly and close their financial year. And that time we announced our secure VPN infrastructure, which scaled so quickly just because we had the cloud infrastructure underneath, and lakhs of government servants we enabled to work from home. Fortunately, we had these platforms like e-office, or another our important platform is PFMS, Public Finance Management System. These systems are digital platforms, are already there. People were already using them while in offices. So what we had to only do is that make them use these systems from their homes in a safe and secure manner. So that infrastructure we quickly scaled up, which was there, but not at the scale which was required. That is one. In fact, that is the reason you say not only using this infrastructure, we could help governments close the financial year satisfactorily. In fact, during that time, another thing which was happened was to transfer these benefits to people who came in distress because of the lockdown, and as I told earlier also, 60,000 crore rupees were transferred using this platform to the beneficiaries, and these beneficiaries are not only in national banks, sometimes they have rural banks, sometimes they have in post office accounts. So it was satisfactorily transferred through this platform. And many of these operations were also done people sitting at home because of the restrictions of lockdown. So having digital platforms and having a state-of-art IT infrastructure supported by cloud really helped us making government function from home during this COVID period.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mr. Arora, in your view, how important it is to have a clear digital transformation agenda for the public sector? And what are the IT infra pieces that one should focus while going on a digital transformation journey? I mean, both of you could share. Mr. Arora, if you could start.
All right. So this is a very good question. I think the most important thing is the data sanctity and data security in such kind of environment. When ma'am was sharing that, 60,000 crore was transferred, across the country, even a single data loss is a huge loss, right? One can really see that the data is not available, then it's the sanctity is lost. The entire transactions can be jeopardized. So the most critical thing is how do you ensure that the data is continuously available on the enterprise class storages? You need to ensure that the data backup is continuously available, that in case of any vulnerability, any trouble situation, it can be quickly brought back. And you need to ensure that the IT infra you are planning for your critical applications are actually designed to cater to the workload which are required. Now by workload it changes. It really changes the configuration, it really changes the throughput, it really changes the speed at which it should process, and so on and so forth. And with close coordination, close working with the technologists across the government organization, especially with NIC, really work closely to ensure that the right kind of designs are taken forward to put to this good use for critical national importance. I just wanted to extend what ma'am just said. In these times, we actually also acknowledge that technology is also coming under essential services. When we talk about corona warriors from hospital, medical staff, police, and all that, these times were critical when this technology should be always up and running and giving the yield when it is tested to its best.
Right. Ma'am, would you like to add something in the digital transformation journey, some of the key pieces that one public sector organization must keep in mind?
Yes, sure. First of all, I'll say during this lockdown period, in fact, government was not only required to do its day-to-day function, they had to work much more. And technology was a key enabler during their this whole management of pandemic as well as delivery of routine services. So you definitely need, and as I said, some of services like messaging services of NIC or email services or a VPN services or e-office, these saw an exponential rise. And within few days, we had to scale it to meet that demand. Therefore, unless we would have migrated all these things to a cloud infrastructure, we have our own on-prem cloud infrastructure, it would not have been possible to cater to this exponential rise. So, basic prerequisite, having cloud infrastructure and all these platforms set up on cloud infrastructure is the first requirement to take care of this. Right. Second thing, as I said, and therefore not only NIC was defined as a part of essential services. In fact, there are some of our offices in districts as well as some in state and infrastructure teams in this who have been actually working 24/7 since this lockdown. So they are actually working as much as health workers or frontline workers, making government manage this whole thing, and we should definitely pay our gratitude to them. Second thing which is important, while infrastructure is one part and very, very critical, second thing is readiness of the systems. Fortunately, what happened under Digital India program in last 5 to 7 years, most of the programs of the government which was announced, whether it was Swachh Bharat Mission, whether it is MG Narega, whether it was PM Kisan, or whether it is PDS system, or whether it was other subsidies, they were all digital by default. And we had this central infrastructure like public DBT platform. This was already catering to 200 and 300 schemes even before this lockdown. This readiness of these systems to be able to is also very, very critical, and we could do so much because we had these platforms. Many of our, systems, like if you look at PDS, we have one platform, one nation. In whole of a country, same software works. E-Office also same software works. Similarly, PM Kisan. So availability of these platforms is a prerequisite to be able to cater to these kind of exigencies, and then their infrastructure or a cloud basically helps you scale quickly at the time of need.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Mr. Arora, would you like to add something based on your Dell Technology experience working with various organizations? How actually you help your partners, your customers in BCP response? Something you can share around BCP.
No, I think as Madam said, this is the most critical piece to let the engine rolling during a complete lockdown. It was, all of a sudden news to everyone, all of us citizens, that it's a complete lockdown, nobody can go out. And during those situations, the requirement of IT was even much more high. People were looking at, getting more edge devices, specifically laptops, desktop, et cetera, to work. In addition to that, we had already planned by the government organizations of augmentation of infra in any which ways for their applications, and one of these requirement was also from NIC, and during lockdown ensure that the material get shipped from factories through the data centers and installed in such a 100% lockdown situation, taking help from the departments for those permissions, moving material. All that was not easy, and in fact the situation was so worse that the flights were cancelled and you can't move the material by air. So we need to use special logistics for those situations to move the material from our factories in Chennai and global to ensure that many critical applications which are there, including of for example ESIC or BSNL or other critical government application continue to work in total lockdown situation. Not only work that time, even the breakdowns or the minor maintenance what is required in those periods 24/7, people have to be there on the site in such situation.
Yes. Ma'am, in post-COVID world, organizations are expected to be technology ready by ensuring an agile compute, storage and networking infrastructure. What is your view around these things? How do you look, the role of technology in post-COVID world?
See, as I sometimes say, among all this adversity, if there's one thing which has happened good, is the significance of technology.
Right.
And if you look at all around in our lives, I mean, the businesses or the enterprises which were already digitally transformed or were using digital technologies for doing their work have been able to really sail through this lockdown in a considerable way. And as we all understand, with this COVID, since there is no vaccine, we may have to live for another 6 months to 8 months or maybe even a year. And therefore, continuity of business for them to adopt digital technologies is very, very critical. And as I always say, with cloud and with this mobile and app, if you put this trinity, you just need lot of small businesses just with one mobile and access to cloud-based apps and services can do their complete business in a digital manner. And therefore, I think we should really work. That's what I was saying, that MSME sector has to be really enabled. They have to be informed. Their capacity has to be built up. And they have to be really enabled to use these digital technologies to restart their businesses or push these services again. And what they have to be informed, it is not those older times where you had to buy a few computers, engage a computer engineer to start your IT thing. What you need today is one mobile app, one mobile with you. You have to understand on the cloud what kind of services the apps are available which will help you manage your accounts or connect with your customers or open up your small e-commerce activity if you are, let's say, Kirana store in a place. And that's all. And there is hardly any upfront investment into it. So even if it doesn't succeed, you're not losing much. But if you succeed in handling this, you really can, you can even grow your business further than what you do. Because please remember, all these Amazons and Flipkarts, their delivery is very good as far as big cities are concerned. But when you go to small towns in India, there you still people depend on the nearby shops, whether it's medicine, whether it is grocery shops and all. So if we could enable these grocery shops, these medicine shops, and all those small businesses which help us in adoption of technology, that will be a great service, and this will somewhere also contribute towards India making India Atmanirbhar.
Absolutely. Mr. Arora, would you like to add something, especially on the MSME part and making technology affordable so that even the people at the grassroots level are able to adopt?
I think these are critical requirement of the country to be Atmanirbhar or self-reliant, as Honorable PM is mentioning about it. MSME digitalization is going to be most critical to enable them to be connected across so that they can continue their business. The way e-office developed by NIC is working and helping government officials to work from home is going to gain even more importance as we move forward. And there's a huge amount of stability required on that system, as we move forward. When you have, lakhs and lakhs of people accessing it, security becomes a most critical parameter, because now with the use of mobile phone, one can access any application, any network, and can contribute to it. While the positive things come with it, we need to be absolutely prepared to tackle to any kind of vulnerability which it can bring alongside. Third thing is that when you talked about these systems, and in current situation, these systems need to be deployed more. In current situation, the economic activities are kind of taken a back seat or halted for a moment before it start unlock 1.0 and some business activities start. I think the flexibility bringing in capex versus opex is going to be key for most of the organization as they ramp up their digital transformation journey. And Dell is prepared to contribute positively in that manner in bringing in some kind of a flexibility in payment plans, not only for private organization, also for government organizations, in terms of how we can ramp up such requirement and can make our financially structure to it. And finally, there are a lot of things which NIC is doing on emergency response center for district and monitoring pandemic. I think there are a lot of solutions around that which continue to be scaled up, from our solutions to ensure that district administration are very proactively and effectively dealing with such situation today.
Right, ma'am. This is the last question, and I'll just take a brief view of both of you. What are the two key technology that we need to focus down the line in 6 months, 1 year in post-COVID world, so that if something comes like this or any emergency, our IT system are resilient enough to reply immediately?
Cloud technology is definitely the first thing. More and more applications should be enabled for cloud technology. They should also have API interfaces so that we can connect one system to other system quickly, one part. And second thing is use of AI and analytics. We really need to ramp up, and as I was mentioning that the use of AI and analytics has been done in a very good manner during this management and monitoring of pandemic, of predictive analytics and all. And I'm sure encouraged by the success of these things, we will see more and more use of this analytics and AI. Third thing, which is, though you asked too, is also important, is, because when during this continued period of COVID-19, you may not have 100% availability of manpower, government officers and all. In those things, we will see a lot of conversational AI coming, where the chatbots in Indian languages will be there, because people are now getting used to talking to these chatbots instead of talking to a government official or sitting behind that desk. That's becoming a new normal under social distancing and all. I think that should be leveraged so that you can really make them feel one-to-one talking to the government. So we need to do a lot of work in bringing out those. In fact, you'll be surprised, in NIC, among these chatbots, we did one chatbot for Meghalaya government in Khasi language, and it has become very popular in whole of Meghalaya. So this is another part which we'll see a lot of things coming in times to come.
Mr. Arora, would you your views on a couple of key technology in post-COVID world?
I completely agree with ma'am here. The flexibility, agility, and scalability is going to be the most important. And cloud or cloud-like infrastructure or something which can go as you ramp up your operations. When you build small and you ramp it up to the scalability you require as you grow is the key thing. And as you give this flexibility to access from anywhere, I think the most important, and you use the right word there, resilience in the overall solution, so that the data security remains the paramount requirement, so that in any case the business continuity is there. Nothing is gonna go wrong when data is is protected in an enterprise environment. It has to be zero data loss environment. So that's, I think, is key.
Absolutely. With this, we come to the conclusion of this fireside chat. I thank you, both of you, Dr. Neeta Verma and Mr. Kamal Arora, for being such a wonderful panelist. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.